Number 15 says, what is the slope of the sides FG and GH in the triangle FGI and the triangle GHJ? So I know whenever I'm trying to find the slope on a graph, I will have to do rise over run between the 2 points. So the first slope that they want me to get is FG. There's a point for F and G. So I'm going to draw a rise that goes straight up and straight over so that I can count this rise and then this run to connect those 2 points. So I have to pay attention to what my X and Y axis are counting by, because whatever they are counting by is what I'm going to count by. So whenever I count this rise, I see that on the y-axis they are counting by tens. So my rise was just one jump, and that's going to be 10. Okay, for the run, if I look down here, they are counting by twos. So whenever I jump, I'm going to count by twos. 2, 4. 10 over 4 can both be divided by 2. To reduce to 5 over 2. I know that it's going to be a positive 5 over 2 because I can see that my line goes up as you move from the left side of the graph to the right side of the graph. It also wants me to get the slope of GH. So from point G, I'm going to draw a line that goes straight up and straight over to connect G and H. And then I'm going to also write out the number that I get for rise and the number that I get for run. So whenever I count for this rise, I'm counting by tens. 10, 20. The run, well, down here is counting by 2, so I'm going to count by twos. 2, 4, 6, 8. These numbers will both divide by 4, so it's going to reduce to 5 over 2. So these segments right here from F to G and G to H have the same slope because they are on the same line. It does not matter which 2 points that I use to get the slope. They reduce to the same answer. Number 16 says determine the slope from the table of data. So whenever I am looking at a table, the first thing that I would check is the constant. So y divided by x, y divided by x, and y divided by x. For this table, it does not have a constant. So I will do the change in y over the change in x to get the slope from a table that does not have a constant. So I'm going to look to see how are my y's changing. It increased by 1. I'm going to look to see how are my x's changing. So I know from 14 to 18 that added 4. So from 13 and a half to 18 it added 4 and a half. If I reduce that, I can multiply the top and the bottom both by 2 to get 2 ninths.